What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to take a look at an observation I made on December the 8th of 2020 while I was up in Flagstaff, Arizona. I looked up during the daytime hours and saw what appeared to be a daytime star. I got some amazing video footage and photos I want to share with you of a very unique object once again in the daytime sky. Also have a brand new picture slideshow, 3 minutes of brand new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. But first I want to follow up on the geomagnetic or possible geomagnetic storm that did arrive. We look at the planetary K index, and in the early morning hours of December 10th, you can see there was a peak right there at K4 in the estimated planetary K index. Not much of a geomagnetic storm. You can see right there a brief compression of the magnetopause when the storm arrived. We're looking at the Y cut and the Z cut, and you can see they really didn't change a whole lot. The CME has arrived, but so far it has not produced any major geomagnetic storms. Now over to the website, checking out the Schumann resonance, which would definitely show evidence of a geomagnetic storm. Not too much activity right now. All in all, pretty quiet. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. All of the seismos look like they normally do. This is the new norm. A little bit of energy around all of the seismos, at least most, at the supervolcano caldera. Got one here at the lake that once again has a absence of data. I don't know if that's a mechanical glitch or what's going on there, but once again we're seeing no data at the lake seismo at the supervolcano caldera, but all in all, pretty good. Looking at a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. Got a big halo around the sun sent in by Willie P. out of Tennessee during sunrise. Gary N. from Yorkshire, United Kingdom. He called this some sort of a rainbow in the sky. He called it a cloud bow because it didn't look like a typical rainbow. It wasn't raining. It did have some color to it. It wasn't a fog bow. Those are basically a rainbow with no color. This was kind of a combination of both. He had never seen anything like it, and honestly I haven't either. William H. out of Winter Haven, Florida. Spectacular sunrise. Amanda E. out of Vermont. Very colorful clouds in the sky above the state of Vermont. And she also shared this photo, not necessarily of sky phenomena, but of some very unusual mushrooms that were new to her. And gotta be honest, I've never seen anything quite like this either. They're not in the shape of fairy rings, they're just red and white mushrooms. Andre out of Estonia got some crepuscular rays going in all directions, at least in 180 degrees above the horizon. Andrea C. out of Stuttgart, Germany, got a very long, what looks like a flat roll cloud up in the sky. Get a load of that, would you? Looked out of place, that's why she took the photo. Brett P. out of Pensacola Beach, Florida, kind of got a unique feature up in the clouds. Looks like some sort of a ship left a trail in the sky. See it right there? There's the entire photo that Brett was trying to get a video of. Looks like a big wedge moved through the sky. North Carolina, Cameron, very low to the ground, a double-decker rainbow. Carl C. out of New Hampshire, spectacular halo coming up over the horizon from New Hampshire. Dayton, Ohio, David, another very unique cloud configuration in the sky. Deborah W. Notice these fiery orange clouds off in the distance behind the trees. DDO out of Pine Island, Minnesota. Notice this object or some sort of a trail in the sky, casting a shadow to boot. Looked like something falling from the sky. Very unique photo in there. Looks like it's shining. La Mesa, California, Jesse sent in what looked like a bunch of overlapping circles in the sky. Elfie out of Mexico, looking out over the ocean from the Baja. Got a very unique cloud right there. Looked like Swiss cheese. See that? See the holes in those clouds? Just looked out of place. And you've got the big hole over there that's pouring in sunshine. Kevin H. out of Gold Coast, Australia. Very wispy clouds up in the sky. influenced by wind shear. Jay from Mount St. Helens up in Washington got what looks like a big ship sitting up in the sky, or stack of pancakes, however you want to look at it. It's a lenticular cloud. Everett, Washington, Jeffrey noticed some unique clouds in the sky above Everett on this day with a crescent moon in the background, and those clouds too influenced by wind shear. Coos Bay, Oregon, Mark, he said this looked like a inverted hole punch cloud. Here's a hole punch cloud sent in by Jeanette F. And the other photo looked like an inverted hole punch cloud. Jeff B. out of Memphis, Tennessee. Very colorful clouds in the proximity of the moon. Palm Bay, Florida, Karen B. Some more unique clouds in the sky. You got to ask yourself, how do these form? I understand wind shear and different things like that. You got what look like these independent vertical structures up in the sky that just simply don't match any of the other clouds in the neighboring sky. Here's another example of those clouds. Jesse out of Los Angeles, California, got what looks like a glowing cross in the sky. Great observations, guys. Keep the photos coming. Now we're going up to Flagstaff, Arizona. The video footage you're about to see, I took myself on December 8th of 2020 up in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's about 5:20 in the evening. I was standing out on the patio of the house in the backyard, and it was a very crystal clear day. It was still daylight, no clouds, when I noticed up above me, up here where I have a circle on this photo I took looking west-southwest, the sun had just gone below that tree line right there. Obviously, it wasn't dark yet. You can see the sky is still blue, and there's still a lot of light out. The ecliptic plane is right here. Jupiter and Saturn, here in a few minutes, are going to be over here behind these trees. And the rest of the planets follow along this ecliptic plane. And when I noticed this object up in the sky, it was very bright, shiny, and looked out of place, and appeared to be stationary, at least at the time being. This is a very unique sequence of events you're about to see here. Here's a sky map I took at the same time I saw this thing up in the sky. In fact, I opened my Sky Guide app, pointed it to the sky, and there were no very bright objects up in here. Now, once again, the ecliptic plane is way down here. The sun had just gone behind that hillside over there. So I videotaped this object. I had enough time to go get my Canon camera, set it up on the tripod, get a video with that. But first, I took a video with my iPhone, just in case it went out, went away. You never know when you see things up in the sky. It's right up in here. That's the color of the sky. Here's the object right here. I'm telling you, it was shiny, and it was directly above me, way up in the sky. In fact, I think here's a photo of the object with my Canon camera, and I think it was outside of the atmosphere. Honestly, it looked like a daytime star. No joke, it was as bright as it could be. And I got to looking around for other stars at the time at 5:20, and there were no other stars out, just this. So I watched it for about 5 minutes as I was taking this video with my iPhone, and I finally got it to focus because it was so far away. When I would zoom in on it, like most of you know that have filmed sky phenomena, it goes out of focus. So I finally got it into focus, and that was as close as I could zoom. And this is what I saw. It looked like a daytime star. In fact, it looked brighter than what it shows here. It was very, very bright. And again, this is with my iPhone. I had enough time to go inside, get my camera, put it on the tripod, get it into focus, and I took a video with my Canon camera as well. This thing did not appear to be, at the time, moving across the sky. It appeared to be stationary. I stood there and watched it for probably 10 minutes before I went and got my Canon camera. This video I took myself. I saw this thing with my own two eyes on December the 8th of 2020 at 5:20 p.m. and it was still daylight outside. This was the only object of its kind in the sky. There were no clouds in the sky, no airplanes, not a thing except this. And interestingly enough, it did start to move after about 20 minutes, very, very slowly to the west-southwest. And it was moving in the direction to where Jupiter and Saturn would later be. It was going in that direction, towards the west-southwest. Here I zoom in just a little bit with my movie maker. I didn't zoom in with the camera because it would have went out of focus. Here's the ground view. Once again, when I looked up, that's what I saw. Now I'm zooming in. This thing appeared to be pretty good size. It was very, very bright. Here I film it with my Canon camera. You're going to get a little better perspective as it's clearer with my Canon camera. And you're going to see what looks like a tail on this thing, because it kind of started moving, not very fast, very, very slowly, and it went behind, or at least from, our field of view. I had other people that saw this as well, my wife included. There were multiple witnesses that saw this object in the sky, and it looked totally out of place. It really and truly did. It started to move very, very slowly across the sky, and again, it was moving west-southwest, and you're going to see what looks like a tail on this thing. I have no idea what we're dealing with here, what this was. It disappeared. It almost looked like it went vertically up higher into the sky. You could barely see it. You could see just a very faint object in the sky once the very bright light disappeared. Here I zoom in the video, not with the camera, because if I zoomed in with the camera, it would have went out of focus. This is the same video you just saw, but I'm going to zoom in super close, and I did that to keep the clarity. And you're going to see what looks like a tail behind this thing. A small one, but it is there. It looks round. You're going to see that it appears to have a little bit of color. I don't know. It's just super, super weird. I took this video myself. It was not sent in to me. This one I saw in the sky, and I took the video myself. This occurred in broad daylight. It wasn't a balloon. It wasn't an airplane. Don't know, guys. I've never seen anything quite like it. When I go outside, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I always look up. And when I went out this time, it was no different. I looked up, and there was this object. It didn't appear to be inside the atmosphere. It looked like a star. Like if you went outside at night and looked up and saw a star, that's what it reminded me of. It looked like a daytime star. And it looked stationary. In fact, I'm not so sure it wasn't stationary for a while. Here I'm zooming in on my computer. I didn't zoom in with the camera. Once I got it in focus, I just left it alone and let it record. But see what looks like some sort of a tail behind this thing? And it was moving in the direction of where Jupiter and Saturn were. And in about an hour, they were visible in the nighttime sky. That's a photo I took of Jupiter and Saturn. Once again, here's the ecliptic plane. Object way up here started to slowly move in that direction, and it got behind, let me go back just a second, it got behind my field of view, behind that tall tree, even though it was way up in the sky. A friend of mine, Kyle, saw it, it went rogue, it disappeared. It was up here. I was moving over to the right to get it back into my field of view. That's why I turned off the camera. And he said, oh my gosh, it went out, it disappeared, it disappeared. But you could still vaguely see it right up in here, and it looked like it went up, if that makes any sense. It looked like it went up, or it went out, I don't know, but it was moving to the west-southwest very, very slowly. I mean, at one point, you couldn't even tell it was moving when I first saw it. There's Jupiter and Saturn right there from Flagstaff. I took that photo as well. And here's the object, whatever it was. I zoomed in as tight as I could go with my Canon camera. And you can see one side of it's got what looks like a purplish pink. This side over here has got almost looks like a greenish purple, if that makes any sense. And then possibly a tail of some sort behind the object, whatever it was. Not claiming to know. That was just way too good not to share. And that I saw myself in Flagstaff, Arizona. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All the photos end up here at the website, the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery, and sometimes I'll use them in a picture slideshow, just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.